There is still only one person in America with a confirmed case of Ebola. The New York hospital treating Dr. Craig Spencer reported today that he remains in serious but stable condition. In Maine, a drama is playing out between a nurse who treated Ebola patients in West Africa and a governor who wants her quarantined. She has no symptoms, but Don Dahler tells us the governor is threatening legal action and the nurse remains defiant.
It could be the most photographed bike ride since the Tour de France. Kaci Hickox and her boyfriend went out for an hour-long ride with police in tow. It was the second time she has ignored the quarantine. Last night, she came out to speak to the press.
We have to make decisions on science, and I am completely healthy. You know, you could hug me, you could shake my hand. There is no way that I would give you Ebola.
And to prove her point, she shook hands with one of the reporters.
Oh.
Maine's Governor Paul LePage announced today the negotiations with Hickox have failed and that he will exercise the full extent of his authority allowable by law.
So she just doesn't want any restrictions.
And the fact that she took a bike ride today just kind of...
She's pushing my patience.
Hickox says she continues to take her temperature twice a day, and a state health official visits her every day. On the other side of the country, in Redwood City, California, Dr. Colin Bucks is in a modified quarantine after returning from Liberia. Unlike Hickox, he is not trying to leave the house. Today, he spoke via Skype.
For me, this is not a burden. This is manageable. I think, outwardly it might appear quite awkward, but you just incorporate it as a component of the deployment.
Although he is allowed out of the house to exercise, he has chosen not to.
I need my neighborhood to feel utterly secure, and for that reason, it's just easier to work out at home.
Scott, a White House spokesman told reporters today that while the president hopes that states set guidelines based on science and evidence, Maine officials have the ultimate decision about quarantine policy.
Don Dahler, thank you very much. Our research department tells us that Maine is one of 16 states that have an Ebola quarantine policy that goes beyond the federal CDC guidelines. We don't know if it's politics, but it turns out 11 of those states have gubernatorial elections on Tuesday.